Right, folks, I'm back with another edition of For Fox's Sake. People seem to enjoy this, my little tete-a-tete on the Foxes, Leicester City. So, it's down to the Liverpool game and all the action that taken there. Took place at Anfield. Right, first things first, Harry Maguire's header. For sake, 80 million inside the bloody 6-yard box and puts it wide on a free header. I think Liverpool fans watching this and Leicester fans who are watching this will appreciate that. Absolutely brilliant. So there you go. Right, let's get back onto the important stuff. The Liverpool V Leicester game. I think Leicester. All I've done is, folks, I've watched the highlights on Match of the Day, and I've also watched the highlights on Sky. It looked a good game. It had been nice to have been there to see it all live and unfold as it did. There's quite a few talking points on it. I don't think Choudhury had the best game as such. I think he was left all over the place at one point, and there's reports in the media today that Leicester are looking to replace him already because apparently somebody's going to come in with a £50 million bid. Yeah, he's a good player. I don't know whether Leicester should take the money of the 50 million and let him go and replace him, or what? It just seems, I don't know. Yes, I think we've got to let's see how he develops and let's go from there. But he had a bit of a torrid time from the highlights. I don't know. It's a bit hard to say because only with watching the highlights of a football game, it's a bit hard to give an all-round view of what happened. So let's see. It's a tough one, isn't it? He's come on, he were really, really good and stuff, and then it's like I don't know whether it's getting to him or if the Alexander Arnold just like took the piss out of him or what. But whatever, I don't know. I don't want to particularly sell him, but 50 million's a lot of money, isn't it, when all said and done? You know. Right, let's move on. I think working through what I've seen on the highlights, if you haven't realised, I only watched it on the highlights. I thought Evans looked steady as well. Yes, the goal caught him out. I think perhaps the ball went down and he couldn't get over to it and all that kind of thing. Unfortunate, but there again, he was getting out. I mean, Liverpool really were only looking like they were shooting, apart from the corners and the set pieces, that kind of thing, where the ball was being put into the box. Van Dijk, he headed one over and stuff. Liverpool were only really shooting from outside the box. Obviously, the goal that came down the side and he got that. But Evans was doing the job. He looked really steady. So he looked steady as well. You can't expect a player to put a foot right every time. They are going to get caught out. That's the whole idea. And when you're playing a team like Liverpool, let's face it, you either love them or hate them. They're good. They're a bloody good side. Clippity Klopp's got them working really well, and he's moulding them into that thing. And I do like that thing at the end of the game where Klopp goes up to the Kop and he's getting at the old fist pump. It's like he is part of the club, and I don't mean part of the club by being just a paid manager. He is part of the club. He's like a brick in the Kop that's holding it up or something like that. That's just the impression I get. I think there was one part where we'll get to the tackles and that in a bit, the penalty and Choudhury's foul on Salah. But there was one bit where Alexander Arnold he tackled Tielemans on the edge of the box as it was going out for a corner. Now that might have been a clash, an accidental clash or what, and people are saying, oh, the ball had gone out, but that doesn't alter the fact that when he stood on his ankle, he stood on his Achilles in the box. So in theory, that's a tackle from behind in my book. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to be like I try to be fair. When I'm talking about these things, I don't want to be like some fans where it's just so blatantly fucking obvious it's your team or nothing. Well, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be known as some kind of moaning whatever. I want to see it as fair as I can. Do it as fair as I can. I like to look at things from both sides of the argument, right? And I think Alexander Arnold was very lucky not to get a yellow card there, because it was late, clumsy, and not really necessary for him to do that. The ball was going out. All it needed was jockeying him out. So, and if that had been in an international, that could have been a booking and could have been missing the semi-final of a World Cup or something, if we ever get there. Sorry, folks. I'm just I've made some notes on my tablet. And because this is how I roll, folks. Yeah, so I think you were quite lucky on there. Talking on Tielemans, I've not been critical of Tielemans because I've watched him a couple of times and he's not as good as he was last season. And his passing seems to be just a little bit wayward. It don't seem to be going right. When the kid went down to the Newcastle game, he took a corner, he just pumped the bloody thing straight over the box and went out for a throw-in. He just seems to be lacking in something. But I'll say one thing for him, he's trying. And if he's trying, that's good in my book. I can remember when Bobby Smith used to play for Leicester and he was awful, but he tried. He absolutely tried. He had a crappy perm and a moustache, but he tried. And we used to rip the piss out of Bobby Smith because he was rubbish. But he always tried, and that was one of the good things I like about players. If you're trying, you're all right. I think, the goal that Liverpool got, it was a well-worked and deserved goal. I think from the highlights that I've watched, the Liverpool were on top. They were doing the better stuff. And so, fair play, they got the goal. And then the game after half-time, it was just, backs and forwards and all that kind of thing, as I've seen from the highlights, because I've only seen the highlights. But Leicester's goal came along, and it was well worked as well. Perez came on. Leicester was shooting mainly from outside the box. Vardy had a chance. I was really expecting him to get in there and just get a toe to it and poke it at least on target. It was almost as if he wanted to make sure he got the scoring opportunity but didn't do it. Normally he would have got that. I don't know whether he felt a bit of pressure. I don't think Jamie Vardy feels pressure. I don't know what he was doing. I am not that kind of player. I was never that kind of player. I will never be that kind of player. So unless, you get a lot of football fans, oh, I just got that. Really? Would you really have got it? Would you have really got in that position that Vardy was in? So I can't say I'm disappointed. I'm just surprised he didn't try and get a toe to it. But, when you're running at pace and you got the keeper who looked like he wasn't coming out, then he came out and all that, it caught him on side. Of course, he got the defender on his back as well. So, fair enough. It's fucking hell. I mean, the amount of goals Vardy scored, what the fuck am I going on about? Shut up. But Leicester's goal was well worked. Perez come on, he turned it, he did a brilliant turn, got the ball through, and Maddison finished it off. And hopefully now Maddison can really kick on. Now he's got them 2 goals, he can kick on and really push. And let's get Leicester going, moving upwards and onwards. I don't think anybody's really going to catch Liverpool as such. I don't know. But now we'll move on to the Choudhury thing. Now, yes, it was a foul. I am not denying it was a foul. It was a lunge. I can't say it was a dangerous lunge, in my opinion. He has basically taken one for the team. I don't think Choudhury went in to hurt him. I think, he was just trying to... I think he was trying to get the ball. If he wasn't trying to get the ball, then it should have been a straight red. But I think he was actually trying. I think what's happened is he's rolled in and Salah's gone over. But I haven't heard anybody really mention the fact that as Salah got the ball down the side and he was running down the wing, he actually gave Soyuncu that. He's pushed him over. So, before any of this should have happened, that should have been brought up as a bloody foul. It was a push. Now, you can dress up the Choudhury's thing as you like. Yes, it was wrong. Yes, he got the booking. Yes, I'm sorry that Salah's hurt. It's happened. It's a man's game and all that kind of thing. But there was a foul there. Soyuncu got pushed over. Go back, watch it. It's there. Get down. And I'll nip off in the inside and then get kicked by Choudhury. So there is that. And also, like, Klopp's getting all excited over it because of the tackle and all that. But I haven't really heard anybody say anything about the tackle that Salah did on Porto's player. Now I'm going to have to read this here. It's Danilo, the Brazilian lad. Now that was a career-threatening tackle. That was a complete stamp, and the studs went down his leg. The back studs on his boot went down his shin. Now, I have broke my leg twice. Now, one was through football, which was a complete accident, and the other one was because I ran across a cricket ground and it snapped because I didn't give it time to recover. And it hurts. Now, that was a far more dangerous tackle than what Choudhury did on Salah on Saturday, in my opinion. No doubt some Liverpool fans might come back and, throw a bit of abuse, and, they're entitled to. You can throw abuse, just, let's be all grown up about it. If you don't agree with me, don't agree with me, and then that's fair, that's fine enough. I won't hold anything against people who disagree with me. I don't hold anything against you. I'm not going to, not talk to you or, block you or anything, but there's just no need for the complete stupid abuse that some people get. So if you want to mention fouls and tackles and all that, just look at that one that he did on him. Moving on to the penalty. Yes, in this day and age, it's a penalty. VAR reviewed it. I think because the referee had basically gave the penalty, I don't think VAR was going to change its mind. I think that was it. It was a penalty. I don't know what Albright were doing. I suppose it was the 95th, 92nd minute or whatever it were. I suppose Liverpool were on the attack. Liverpool thought Leicester thought we were going to get a point, and be the team to stop Liverpool getting all these winning record things. And so I suppose he's like rushed in, rush of blood. He should have let Schmeichel get it. We're sitting here at home watching it on the telly or in the stand and all that. We've got the comfort of doing that. In hindsight, he should have let Schmeichel get it through, but he took it away from Schmeichel. Then he panicked again because Maine was like there. He was in. He wanted it. He looked good, and that's the kind of thing I like from players when they're still hungry at getting the ball. And then he caught him on the ankle. I can't say it was a massive foul. I can't say that if it was on the outside of the box that would have happened. I can't see that they got the free kick. Can't say that they would have got the free kick. But he went down and that was it. The only disappointing thing about this is that the way that somebody had left a bear trap on the pitch that Maine had stood on. Because that's what it looked like. He went down like he trod on a bear trap or he'd had his ankle shot or something like that. It's a hard one because obviously he felt he was fouled, and I suppose he's got to emphasise to the referee that it was a penalty. And he made the most of it. He worked it, and it's one of them things. I don't know how the VAR would have worked on that, because would they have gone back and looked at it or not? Would it have actually been a penalty at the KP, at the King Power? Would it have been a penalty if Liverpool were playing at Man City or somewhere like that? That's the way it's going at the moment. I don't particularly think. I think that was more of a penalty than the one that Man United got against Leicester. I think he rolled himself over the Soyuncu and won that one completely. This one, he did actually kind of kick him on the ankle, and I suppose it's a penalty. It's quite easy to sit here and say, no, it wasn't a penalty, you should get up and get on with it. And Alan Shearer's basically said that. But it's not. We're not looking at the game in the past. We're looking at the game now and the rules and all that. And if there's contact, it's a penalty. And it's... I don't know. We're going to have to live and learn with this VAR. We're going to have to live and learn with the fact that you can't really touch anybody. But he kicked him on the ankle. There was no ball there. He didn't win the ball because the ball wasn't there to, you know, he took the ball away and all that kind of thing. It's just something footballers are going to have to learn to live with. The next, running up to the end of this, the next thing I want to mention is, will Liverpool win the league? Oh, that's a good question that I have asked myself. They've got it there in them. They're playing really well. All these wins out of wins and all this, they're sitting pretty. I think are the 8 points clear or something at the top. I don't know what the fuck's going off at Man City. I haven't got a clue. I haven't watched the game yet. I wanted to watch this so I could do this and release this video. I just don't understand what's going off at Man City. Are they, as Pep took them as far as they can go, or is there some kind of unhappiness there at Man City? It's just, I don't know. Or do Man City think they're actually entitled just to win it every year? It's a tough one. But I'm not really bothered about Man City. In all due respect to Liverpool, I'm not really bothered about you either. I'm more bothered about Leicester and what they can do. Can Leicester get top 4? I think there's still a chance. I think, you know, I was on the Choudhury and they were asking me if would Leicester come 4th, and I still think they'll come top 4. I think Chelsea are actually getting it back together now. Chelsea, Lampard's doing a good job. I thought it might have been too early for Lampard. I'm not saying that Lampard's not a good manager, because he is. I just thought he was a year too early to take the Chelsea job. But he's working with kids. He's bringing these kids through who are looking up to him and who are respecting him. And that is good, because he's not working with idiot superstars who think they are better and entitled to more than what they should get. This is the good thing about Frank working with the kids. They're looking up to him. They're seeing him as a father figure. They've been there when he was there and he was the man. And they're listening to him and they're taking on board what he's saying. So that is good. And plus with the other experience around him, that players are helping him and understanding the situation at Chelsea with the transfer embargo and all that, it's looking good. But then you swap it around and you look at Ole at Man United. He's trying to work with kids who have got a lot more pressure on them to do the job, because let's face it, Manchester United are probably the biggest club in the world. You're next to Real Madrid and Barcelona, and then you've got Liverpool coming up and all that. You know, they are massive, Manchester United. You cannot deny that fact. But Ole's got problems with the players who are on massive wages and who are not doing the job. Now, you dress it up as you like. Pogba is not doing the job. And I said this on the kickoff, get rid of him. I would honestly get rid of him. I don't care if people think he'd win the Ballon d'Or or whatever. I'd just get rid of him, because I don't think he's a good influence for Manchester United. I mean, he takes the penalties and he's like, who in the right minds takes a bloody 58-step penalty and then misses? Would that have happened under Ferguson? Would that have had the boot thrown at him and everything? I just don't understand it. Pogba is making a complete joke out of Manchester United, and he's just not doing the job. So personally, to help Solskjaer, to help Manchester United, I would sell him, get the money for his get the money for his transfer, get the money for his wage, and just get rid of him. And Manchester United could get 3 or 4 decent players who would actually fight, battle, give blood, sweat and tears for that club. And just do it. But that's it. I don't know. Man United fans might like him, some lot. But as a football fan myself, right, this is nothing to do with Manchester United. As a football fan, I wouldn't have him at Leicester. I would not have him at Leicester. I think he causes too much trouble, and I just don't think he's good enough for it. If he wants to go to Real Madrid, let him fuck off to Real Madrid. And take the money, and take it and invest it into some decent players that want to play for Manchester United. Well, I hope you like this edition of the For Fox's Sake. I do enjoy doing it, and I do like chatting about Leicester and stuff. And because my daughter has taken an interest in Leicester and that, it really has given me a boost to watch football again. It's really good, and I'm enjoying it. So, all right, folks, laters.